everyone. I'm Jim Longworth, and welcome to another edition of Forsyth County Connections, coming to you from the Government Center here in Winston-Salem. So glad you could join us. We have a lot in store for you today with some great guests, important information in this half hour. I hope you'll stay with us the whole time. Where we want to start, though, is talking with this lovely lady who's a first-time visitor to the show. Nicole Young is Senior Social Work Supervisor for Adult Guardianship Services with the Forsyth County Department of Social Services. That's a long title, but welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
We just ran out of time doing it. How did you sent me an email about something called the Quality Aging Conference. Now, what is that all about, and how did it come about?
So this is the second year that we have done the Quality Aging Conference, and one of the things that our staff always does in helping adults is to try to figure out resources and how to live and what they need. And one of the things that we found is that aging is something that people aren't taught. They don't plan for it, or they don't know what happens or what to do when it comes time. So we our director last year had a vision to develop a conference that was focused specifically on aging for older adults.
What is the overall mission of the conference beyond what you were just saying? What do you want people to know about that?
The overall mission is just to make sure that people know that there are resources available and what we can do to plan for their estates, to plan for their medical care, as well as their living arrangements. One of our missions is to make sure that people live at home as long as they can.
Absolutely. Now, is this, we're talking about the conference, should this just be for people my age who are senior citizens, or could it be for sons and daughters to come with them, or for caregivers, or whatever? Who's it for?
The conference is made for anybody that cares for an older adult, that is an older adult, that even has interest in knowing what's out there, because we're all gonna get old one day.
Yeah.
So we want to start somewhere. So anybody is welcome that has an interest in the conference.
Nicole, is there a cost to attend this?
There is no cost to attend the conference. The space is limited. Registration is available, and it's increasing now.
Now, remind us when and where, again, that the conference is going to take place so people can sort of plan for it, because I think it's October 1st.
Mm-hmm. So the conference is Tuesday, October the 1st, starts at 9 a.m. The doors open at 8:15 a.m. It's going to run until about 3 p.m., and it's going to be held at the new Senior Services Intergenerational Wellness Center.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
brand new building, beautiful.
It's a great thing.
It's located at 114 West 30th Street here in Winston.
All right, I guess there's going to be refreshments.
There will be refreshments throughout the day, and lunch is free.
Lunch is free.
Lunch
now,
is
what
free.
else besides a free lunch and having a good time and sort of networking with people? What can I expect if I'm there?
So you can expect to hear from speakers about planning for advanced directives, learning about the Alzheimer's journey, accessing resources for seniors, and overall plan for aging in place.
All right. I want to just mention this information to register. You can call 703-3501, or you can go to forsyth.cc/HHS/quality_aging.aspx. You can do that. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Yeah, I hope they'll do that. I really appreciate what you're doing for everybody, especially the senior community. It's so important that we don't forget the folks who helped get us here.
It is definitely important. One other thing I want to mention, Jim, is that this year we've added a Spanish track. So we will have a couple of classes that are totally in Spanish, so that population is definitely invited as well.
Bless your heart. That sounds great. Thanks for doing this.
Thank you.
We'll be right back after this.
So, I keep hearing how things are getting back to normal. Really? When am I back to normal? Is this normal? Was this ever normal? Then I figured out. So much has changed. No wonder nothing feels normal. But here I am, still standing. A brand new edition of me. For some great tips on finding your new normal, visit yourlifeyourvoice.org. You look familiar.
Back now in Forsyth County Connections, we talk about a lot of serious subjects on this show, as we should and need to. And sometimes we just have fun, and that's what we want to talk about, the Fun Fest. We do that with a special guest. With me right now is Destane Williams. She's a business process analyst for Forsyth County's Department of Health and Human Services. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
You sent me an email about this thing called Fun Fest. I didn't know about it, so tell me what it's all about and what's the purpose.
Sure. FunFest is a community event hosted by the county yearly. This year will be our 4th annual county community event. It'll be hosted right on the Health and Human Services campus. This is where all the counties have an opportunity to table. They have activities, games, we have a DJ, and then the community can come out and receive services, apply for any services they may need, and also enjoy free food with us as well.
So it's not just fun, it's a way of getting help too.
Absolutely.
Now, what are the, tell me, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but what's the dates and times again now?
Sure. It's going to be on Saturday, September 21st,
Okay.
from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m.
This may be a silly question, but can anybody show up and attend?
Yes, this is open to the community. No pre-registration is required. Everyone can come, bring your kids, your aunts, your uncles, everyone.
All right. Now, what can I expect to see if I show up at the event?
Yeah, so the county has a lot of departments. We have tax, we have Board of Elections, sheriff, public safety, emergency services, health and human services. So you got social services, public health. Everyone will be out there tabling. They have games, activities. We have this cool Stay Active space where the kids get to have story time and play a few games. We'll have a DJ playing great music. It's an all-around fun event.
Am I too old to go to story time?
You might be, Jim.
What are there any specific services that will be offered at the Fun Fest that people should know about?
Yeah, so there are a few services given by Health and Human Services. So we'll have some vaccinations, maybe some COVID and flu vaccinations. You can also apply to vote or register to vote and check your voter registration. You can apply for a few Medicaid services, different services that are in social services as well.
What do you want folks to get out of this and to come away from? What do you want them to come away from this with?
I really want the community to see what all the county has and that we are here to service the people. We have so many services right here in Forsyth County, and they'll all be in one place at one time. So this is your opportunity to apply for a service or get to know some more information from one of our departments.
And you said you don't have to pre-register, and it's free though, right?
That's correct.
Now, will there be food served or what? I mean, it goes from what time to what time? I mean,
So we'll be out there from 11 to 2. It's free for everyone, free food, free lunch, and then we'll also have some raffles and some games for people to enter into as well.
what is, you personally, what's special about Fun Fest to you? I mean, I know that you're a professional and you're involved in it on that level, but just as a person, what's neat about it?
The cool thing about FunFest for me, if I was coming to this event, I get to put a name to the face of the services that I see online.
Okay.
This is an opportunity for people to build those one-on-one connections with someone that works for a service or anything that they're applying for. They have a name that they can put to whenever they have to come back, or just really, make that human connection and see us live in action, see the work that we get to do, being that we serve our county every day.
Yeah, and I'm glad you're going to get that recognition, which we try to do on this show too, to let people know that there are folks working behind the scenes to help them every day. And if anybody can come, that means there might be some young people coming, and they might look at you and some other folks, say, hey, I might like to work in that area sometime. So it's kind of almost like a recruiting thing in the future.
Absolutely.
Isn't it?
We will have a job fair going on as well.
Okay. Now, is there any place people can find more information about this? Is there a web address or anything?
Yes, so there actually has been a release right on our county website, forsyth.cc. We're also releasing a video on YouTube, so you can check out our ad there.
All right. Destane, thanks for everything.
Thank you, Jim.
We'll be right back after this.
Fun Fest. It's fun while learning about Forsyth County services. Grab a free lunch, play games, visit the job fair, bookmobile, and public safety vehicles on display. It's a day of fun, Saturday, September 21st from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's the 4th annual Forsyth County Fun Fest, something for the entire family. Join us Saturday, September 21st at the Health and Human Services Campus, 799 North Highland Avenue in Winston-Salem. Fun Fest 2024. This is Forsyth.
Back now on Forsyth County Connections, and we have an old friend of the show with us now. He's been on a whole bunch of times before. We love having him here because he's just filled with information about parks and recreations and all sorts of stuff. Chris Weavil, Director for Forsyth County Department of Parks and Recreation. Good to see you again, sir.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Give people, before we get going, give people an idea of how much property your team is responsible for caring for and what that work entails.
Well, Forsyth County Parks and Recreation entails about 3,000 acres of Forsyth County green space. So about 40% of that, or roughly 1,200 acres, is maintained space, and the rest is fields, forests, woodlands, wetlands, you name it. We've got a division of Tanglewood, where we have static staff that does every bit of the maintenance and operations there. They mow the grass, they cut the trees, they do everything. Triad Park is the same way. Then we have 7 community parks where we have some dedicated part-time staff that are stationed there. But we also get some of the heavy lifting from our general services department. They help mow the grass, blow leaves, any major complex type repairs they assist us with in those particular
A
departments.
lot of work that goes on behind the scenes. I mean, most of us just go and enjoy the parks and the recreational facilities and whatever. We don't realize what goes into just keeping them maintained. It's a pretty big job, though.
Big job. We get comments quite regularly that we're on the maintenance guys. We never see them. Some of our locations are pretty big. We're there. We're doing it. Like I say, the grass doesn't get cut by itself, so we make sure that happens.
You sent me an email, Chris, that said that you want to talk about something called going electric. Now, what do you mean by going electric? I know about electric vehicles and stuff. What do you mean?
Going electric for us in the Parks Department, we've had some discussions with our elected leaders and Forsyth County's Sustainability Committee. Thought it was fairly easy and attainable to go electric in the Parks and Recreation Department with some of our utility vehicle fleet and some of our handheld type equipment. Our community parks are kind of small, compact in size. We've got some dry storage where we can park these utility vehicles. We've got 120 volt outlets these things plug into. So it's something that's relatively small and easily attainable for us. So it was kind of low hanging fruit, and we kind of started and went that way.
But you said some of the smaller equipment. Now, I mean, for example, what's the difference between a gas-powered chainsaw and an electric one?
Well, I mean, you said it right there. One's gas and one's electric. Like a gas-powered saw, you're carrying around mixed fuel to run the saw, plus bar oil, to lubricate the bar. For the electric saw, the only thing you need is the bar. Most of these are run off a battery. You might need an additional battery for your electric saw just to charge, or to run while one's charging.
Right.
But the big thing with the electric equipment is the noise reduction. Our staff still have to wear all the correct personal protective equipment, including ear protection. But the noise reduction for you, the user at the park, is greatly reduced, and that's such a big benefit when folks are out, utilizing the park spaces, and we're still having to do our work. You're just not hearing us.
And Chris, is there a particular location, a particular park that some of the electric equipment is going to be used versus, or is it going to be, countywide?
Well, we'd like to go countywide. One thing we're running into is supply chain issues, trying to find those particular pieces of equipment. Cost is another thing, but what we decided to do was focus on one particular location, and that's Blues Lake Park. Blues Lake Park is going to be our newest park once it opens sometime later this summer or early fall.
Right.
So we decided to focus kind of all of our chips in, so to speak, at one location, and have the electric utility vehicles, electric handheld stuff. All of our first phase of development, when we open up, will be kind of all electric at that particular location.
Well, I think that's great. Now, do you get a sense that this is a successful thing, and do you want to continue with it? And are you going to be all electric in the future? Or?
I see us moving to all electric in the future. We did look at our community parks as kind of low hanging fruit, so to speak. We've got those individual sites where we can put those pieces of equipment. Some of our larger facilities like Tanglewood or Triad, technology's kind of there for the smaller sites, maybe not so much for the larger the larger sites. It's just that technology is there. It's just the application is a little bit different. But I think we'll eventually get there from the residential consumer type products to the commercial side. We're heading that way.
And as always, when you're on the show, I always like to remind people, is there a website or any place where people can go to just to learn more information about the parks and recreation programs in general?
Yep, just go to the Forsyth County's website, forsyth.cc/parks.
All right, Chris, thanks for everything you do, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
We'll be right back.
Forsyth County has children from birth to teens, single children, and sibling groups looking for a brighter day that can only come from being paired with a foster family. Across our community, there are children who live under the dark clouds of abuse and neglect who end up in the care of the Department of Social Services. Open your home and your heart. Help our children discover a brighter day. Call 336-703-2445 or online at forsyth.cc. Search Foster and Adopt.
Back now for Forsyth County Connections, and I want to spend a few minutes talking about the very serious topic of infant mortality. We do that with an expert in this field, Jasmine Harris. She's Coordinator of Health Services for Forsyth County's Department of Health. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
Let's sort of do the definition thing first for people that have read about infant mortality, but what's your definition of what is infant mortality?
Yeah, so infant mortality just simply means babies who pass away before their first birthday. So those babies who are sick and never see it past 1 year old.
A very tragic thing. And what would you say, how big a problem is infant mortality in this area?
Infant mortality is very alarming in Forsyth County. The rates are extremely higher than the state and the national rate. In 2022, the rate was 8.8, which is higher than 6.8 for North Carolina and 5.6 for the United States.
Is that like per 100 people, or?
It's per 1,000 babies.
Per 1,000 babies. Now, I don't want to put you on the spot, but what would you say are the common causes of infant mortality?
There are many causes of infant mortality, some known, some unknown, some preventable, and some unpreventable. Most commonly, we see unsafe sleep practices, prematurity, and just so it's very important for us as a coalition to promote healthy practices during and after pregnancy.
Now, you mentioned coalition, so let me just say that you had mentioned in an email to me about this coalition. What is the name of that coalition? What do you do? What's the mission of it?
So the coalition is a group of professionals here in Forsyth Counties. We have representatives from community organizations, the local hospitals, and public health. We come together and we educate the community on safe sleep practices and other things to help prevent those risks of infant mortality in our county.
You gave an example of safe sleep habits. What would be an example of what you should tell a parent or a prospective parent about how to deal with babies when they're asleep?
So parents should always be aware of the ABCs of safe sleep.
What do you
So
mean?
babies should lay alone. They should be asleep on their back and in a crib. So the ABCs are the safe sleep practices.
Yeah, you see these videos that are everywhere on social media. Oh, this is cute. Let's put our grown dog in with a little infant in the bed. That's not a good idea.
Not a good idea.
How can parents protect their babies and prevent infant mortality? Give me some advice.
They should be aware. So they should be aware of the ABCs of safe sleep. They should seek for additional information from the community. We have a lot of information on our website at helpourbabies.org, and just talk to their healthcare provider for any advice.
And did I hear you have a big event coming up, something about saving our babies? What is that all about?
Yes, each year the coalition leads a walk a mile to save our babies. It includes a 1 mile awareness walk for the babies that we lost the previous year.
Oh.
So in 2022, we lost 40 babies. So on September 26th, we'll push 40 empty strollers along Bailey Park area downtown to represent those babies that we lost.
As I said, a very sad and tragic thing, but I appreciate what you're doing to try to educate people, and maybe we can beat this thing and really get those numbers down. Is there a place where people can get more information about what you're doing to help people?
Yes, you can start at our website at helpourbabies.org, and then you can reach us at the health department at 336-703-3260.
Okay. Jasmine, thanks for everything you're doing.
Thank you.
We'll be right back after this.
Medications taken as prescribed for you are safe. They should only come from a pharmacy or healthcare provider. Counterfeit prescription pills can kill. 7 out of 10 counterfeit pills tested by the Drug Enforcement Administration contain an amount of fentanyl that can be deadly. It only takes one pill, one time, to kill. One pill can kill. A message from Forsyth County Behavioral Health Services.
Back now for Forsyth County Connections. So glad you stayed with us. And we have a special guest with us and one that will follow him, where we talk about things that are going on in the county, some fun events and things. Right now we're with Hennesse. He's event planner for Forsyth County Department of Parks and Recreation. And just a few minutes from now we'll have one of your colleagues on as well. So we're going to bombard people with some things that are going on that will be fun to take part in. But thanks for doing this.
Thanks for having me.
You emailed me something about, it's called Southern Charm at the Farm. Now, I hadn't heard of that. What is that about?
Yeah, so that's a semi-annual craft show that we host twice a year, typically late April and late September. And it features close to 300 local vendors, and they come in with their handcrafted goods, and they sell those for all of the public.
Anything and everything? I mean, stuff that people made that they're, arts and crafts, and they sell. Will they sell them there? Is that the purpose of it?
Yep, so they'll sell them. It could be anything from dog collars to, food and beverage to, rocking chairs, who knows?
Right. Why are you looking at me when you say rocking chair? I know I'm old, but now, is there a fee to attend this event?
Yep, so it is a ticketed event. It's $5, and you can pay at the gate. And then parking is free.
Okay. Now, I think you were mentioning it was September 28th, so there's still time for people to plan out that they want to get there. I'm assuming this is something for all ages, that the families can come in and see all these things, right?
Yep, all ages are welcome. Like you said, September 28th from 9 to 4 at a Tanglewood Park concert show.
Right. Now, you mentioned there is a fee for that, but let me ask you this. Are there any free events that are coming up throughout the remainder of this year that you might want to plug?
Yep, so we do have two free events. It's part of our concert series with the Winston-Salem and Forsyth County Arts Council. So one concert will be at Tanglewood and one will be at Triad.
Okay, now what kind of acts will we see? Is it country music, is it rock, or what?
Yeah, so the one at Tanglewood, it's going to be September 8th from 2 to 5. And that's going to be featuring Garba 360, which is a group that does a hybrid concert and dance class, actually. And Garba is a Western Indian folk dance that is traditionally used at wedding ceremonies.
Okay. Well, that's great. Now, for us old folks, sometimes we go to these things, we want to know if there's going to be refreshments available. Is that right?
Yep, so there's going to be food and beverage available for purchase. Wine, beer, and water will be available for purchase, and then attendees are also encouraged to bring their own picnic as well.
You can actually drink the wine, beer, and water at the same time, can you?
Yep.
See, Jeff likes to do that, don't you, Jeff? It's all three. All right, now, seriously, how can you get more information about all these things you talked about?
Yep, so for more information about the Arts Council concerts, you can visit their website at intothearts.org, and then for all other events, you can visit tanglewoodpark.org.
That's great. Harrison, I appreciate you doing this.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be right back after this.
Emergencies happen. Every home needs an emergency kit. Are you ready? Start with a large suitcase. They're mobile. For safety and security, pack extra clothes, matches inside a waterproof container, a first aid kit and manual, flashlight and battery-powered radio, and extra batteries. For nutrition, your kit should contain a 3-day supply of non-perishable food, kitchen utensils like a manual can opener. For hygiene, pack hand sanitizer, soap, bleach, and toilet paper. For financial matters, have these important documents: photocopies of identification, insurance policies, credit cards, cash and coins. For health, prescription medications, glasses and hearing aids. For your mental health, consider a simple board game. Your kid should match your family. It may be different if you have an infant, seniors, or pets. It may even vary from one season to the next. Update the kit whenever we roll the clocks forward in the spring and back in the fall. You can see other examples of what you may want in the kit at readyforsyth.org. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter at readyforsyth.
Back now on the Forsyth County Connections. There are a lot of things to do in the county, and we're going to find out about some of them with this special guest. First-time visitor to the show, Colby Jones is event planner for Forsyth County Department of Parks and Recreation. Good to see you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
How long have you been working for the department?
4 years.
4 years, okay. So you're an old man now.
Yeah, getting up there.
You sent me an email about something called Tour to Tanglewood. Now, what's that all about?
Yeah, Tour of Tanglewood. So that's a cycling event. Basically, that goes through multiple counties. It is put on by the National MS Society. Basically, its main purpose is to raise money for those people who have MS, just kind of create a better life. for
Right.
them.
Now, you say the route and everything. I mean, how extensive is the route? You said it goes through different, is it a certain number of miles or?
Yeah, so the miles range from 23 to 100 miles for this year. They go through Forsyth County, Destane County, and Yadkin County. And each rider gets to decide which route they want to ride for each day.
So you can correct me if I'm wrong, but it looks like you probably have to be in pretty good shape and sort of a skilled cyclist. This wouldn't be a beginner thing, right?
Right, right. I mean, beginners are welcome. We do have a little fun route within the park of Tanglewood that they put on that they've actually recently done within the last couple of years.
Okay.
That they just now started doing. So it's for any of all ages that are
Right.
welcome. So.
What are the dates for the tour?
Yep, Tour Tanglewood is on Saturday, September 21st, and Sunday, September 22nd. And both days the event starts at 8 a.m.
Now, do I have to register for these things? or-
Yep, so you have to register online by going to events.nationalmssociety.org.
Yeah, it's a good cause. Now, tell me about the Triad Heart Walk.
Yeah, so the Triad Heart Walk, it is a fundraiser for the American Heart Association. Basically, it is you have the option of either walking 1 mile or 3 miles. And whenever you register, you just let them know what route you want to walk.
Right. Now, do I have to 1 mile or 3 miles? But I can sort of do it at my leisure, though, right? In other
yep.
words, this is one of those things where anybody can
Correct.
participate.
Yeah, it's not time. Anyone is welcome to participate in this event.
Right. Now, I want to just, because sometimes these things slip by, it goes so fast. Let's talk about the date and times of the Heart Walk again, so make sure people don't miss it.
Yep, so it is Saturday, October the 5th. The actual event will start at 10 a.m., but the walk won't begin until 11 a.m.
Right. I want to ask you a personal question since we just met.
Yeah.
Because I can see in your eyes you're involved in these things. And what gratification do you get from being in your position? You know, we've talked about events that help with MS, and we've talked about events that can bring families together and all these things. What do you get out of this as a person by doing your job?
Yeah, my main goal in life is just to be a better person, whether it's just helping others or helping, the people that I know, in my personal life. As long as I, am helping people on a day-to-day basis, I feel like I'm making a purpose in life.
Right, right. Well, I can tell you enjoy your job and you're good at it, and I appreciate you giving us the information about these events. I hope people will turn out for, whether it's cycling or walking or whatever. A lot of good stuff going on.
Yeah.
I appreciate that, Colby.
Yeah.
Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
That's about it for this edition of Forsyth County Connections, and I hope you will check out the website for the county to go through all these different things we talked about and learn more about them. Our thanks, of course, to our executive producer, Ed McNeil, to Jeff Fabrizio, who puts this all together, and for our county manager, Chantel Robinson. I'm Jim Longworth. We'll see you next time.